listeners, to the Gamer Headlines Show. Gamer Headlines is weekly entertainment podcast. This is episode 42, and I am one of your co-hosts, Chris Cortez. As always, I'm joined by my leader of the coup de grace, my right-hand man, my big boss, creator of the MSF and Diamond Dogs, and not quite heaven, but right outside of it, Adnan Riaz.
MSF will rise again in the ashes.
The fire rises. No! No, brother. That's like the original version. And then they went, no! They must find one of us in the wreckage, brother! When they fixed it.
When MSF is ashes, then you have my permission to die. What a great character. Oh, man.
He's so great, man. Like, even like day one, it's just a very interesting villain, like post-Joker. Just to do something more physically, like threatening and shit.
Yeah, that's a Nolan trilogy, though. It's meant to be mentally, physically, and everything else.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking great. I love that trilogy. Actually, a few weeks ago, I finished it, and I'm like, I was in tears doing that ending, and it's just like, oh, what a great trilogy! Like, it ends so well. You're just like, oh, it's okay. Like, we'll end it here. Like, we can move on now and give us another Batman, because this trilogy was so good, you can't fuck it up by making another movie. Like, it has to end here. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is a very good note. Especially because, there's no more after that as well. It just makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Like, the second you see everything set up for the new Batman, you're like, it's so fucking awesome. Yeah. But anyway, on that nerd note, Adnan, man, talk nerdy to me, dude. What's you been up to since last episode?
All kinds of shit. But I did, I actually got around to watching some films, which is a rare kind of, thing for me to do now, which is a huge shame.
Sweet.
But yeah, I got sat down.
Not that part, but just the fact you saw. I realized I sound like I was complimenting the fact you can't see movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Like, I'm happy.
Well, I do spend a lot of time watching Scream, a TV show against my own will and stuff like that. And, I mean, obviously Hannibal consumes a lot of my life. But, no, I sat down and watched True Story. This is a film that caught my attention, a little bit back earlier than that, when a few trailers came out. It came out earlier this year. It's one with James Franco and Jonah Hart, and it follows... it's based on a true story, so Mike Finkel, who's a New York Times journalist, he had someone who James Franco plays Christian... who's Christian Longo? Christian Longo, yeah. Mm-hmm. He plays him, and basically when Christian Longo killed his wife and kids... He fled the country, and then he used the name Mike Finkel when he was meeting new people. He's like, I'm Mike Finkel. I work for the New York Times and stuff. And then a lot of things happen. Basically, Mike Finkel loses his job at the New York Times because he publishes a false story with false. He basically breaks very many tenets in journalism. Mm-hmm. And he finds it hard to kind of find a new job, but then he kind of realizes that he's been copying him, and then he goes and meets him, and then it's kind of very kind of deep psychological kind of movie. Back and forth kind of things. And it was kind of when I saw it as well, I thought this was going to be James Franco's almost defining role, to take himself a bit more seriously in films. Mm-hmm. And even Jonah Hill. But I mean, it kind of falls and stutters, and just the pacing is off here and there. It's an interesting watch, but I think it just, by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, you know what, there's no kind of good delivering punch to end a serious drama. You have to have a kind of consistency in pacing and a very, very... more of you can't, because those stories can really fall flat, or they can just start having hiccups. And if you don't have flowing writing and great kind of use of directing and shot angles and stuff like that, kind of there was wasted potential in a better way, with shots and kind of scenes they could have done and stuff like that. But they did have some golden moments, trademark moments you'd see in these kind of films. I think that one of the best ones was when Christian Longo talks to Jonah Hill's wife. Mike Finkel's wife. That was a very interesting conversation on the phone.
So it kind of came, because you were telling me there's a lot of Oscar buzz over this, and you feel like it kind of came off more as an average movie than above average.
Not necessarily. It had it has the qualities of an Oscar film.
Right.
It just kind of when you look at it, the Oscars would eat that kind of shit up. Mm-hmm. But it kind of had the performances that were almost would be recognised almost as Oscar potential roles. These could become something big. Mm-hmm. Especially for a big moment for Franco and Jonah Hill. But I kind of think they just just doesn't deliver it. The punchline's too short. So it's almost like a good example is comparing it to like J. Edgar, Clint Eastwood's adaptation.
Right.
J. Edgar Hoover and Leonardo DiCaprio. Because I remember when I saw the hype behind that, and I was like, that's Eastwood and DiCaprio's year.
Yeah.
Like they'll swoop the Oscars for the two of those things, and that film just fell flat. When I watched it, I was like, oh, like wasted potential yet again. No, but like, I mean, it's worth watching. It's just kind of like, it's one of those interesting dramas you'll watch, but I think it's nothing to like kind of like be blown away by.
Right.
To get heavily panned by critics as well. As they normally do.
So yeah, that's fair. So, damn. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not intrigued with watching it. Like, I have no interest in seeing it now. But that's a shame, though, that they. I mean, you know what? I admire the fact that they tried to do something like that, though. Like, try to really take themselves up there, because we were talking a bit briefly off podcast, and you were telling me on this subject matter, because Adam and I talk for hours off podcast. But no, we spoke about this, and you were telling me that like he was really trying to like put himself out there and do something like seriously almost
interviewish.
Yeah, right. Which yeah, oh my god, yes. Franco, he didn't win any awards for that movie about the dude that had his arm stuck in the rock, right? You know which one I'm talking about?
127 hours, something like that.
Yeah, that was an excellent fucking movie, by the way. But
with Danny Boyles. Yeah, 127 hours, yeah.
Great. Oh, excellent movie, dude. I don't think he won anything for that, which is surprising, because that was a hell of a role, man, and physically, like, takes a toll on an actor. I mean, Jesus Christ. Having to be limited, you know.
I think he's hilarious, James Franco.
Oh, he's great.
I really do.
He has great time.
He was nominated for that. 127 hours.
Oh, he was nominated, but didn't win. Okay.
Yeah, actor in a leading role he got nominated for.
So yeah, I could see how True Story was, you know, trying to get on the radar again and stuff like that. And plus, you know, push your limits as like an actor and try something else.
I don't know. I think Franco's just like, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Like, you know, this is the end, and like the interview and Spider-Man and shit. He's done like almost everything, hasn't he? Don't tell her.
I forgot. Yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot of action movies in a while, though. Like, definitely Spider-Man, and no one ever told Harry.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
It's just how he says it.
I know, it's a weird shot, right? And then remember that moment where he's like, "Oh," and then he gets stabbed by it. What the fuck was that? Like, it's so.
I think it's just where Sam
Raimi
was like, "I've already hit kind of the big notes, the upside down kiss and everything else. I might as well just end this film now."
It was bizarre. Like, it was definitely something that was very un-Raimi. But cool, man. Like, I mean, I'm glad that you were able to catch another flick, because I know that's very important to you, and it's important to me too, man. I love movies. I try to make some here and there, and they're not nearly as I'm getting there, dude. I'm like almost 30, so I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I like dick and fart jokes, but maybe I want to try something else. How about I tell a personal story, like, you know? But first Drunk Max. Well, dude, I mean, I don't, for my Talk Nerdy to Me, I know we're not going to cover a whole lot of this. We have some, you know, in the news front, and obviously we have something at the end of the show. But I want to talk about the EA Gamescom 2015 media briefing briefly, because I had a very unique experience with it. Basically, so when I found out, okay, EA was gonna, and we didn't talk about this a whole lot last episode, our predictions and stuff like that. I think we had a one-word prediction. I think mine was Pele, and and yours was Pointless. And I'm pretty sure you won.
Pointless.
You won that one most definitely, because
look at Pele didn't fucking turn up, did he?
Yeah, no, Adnan won that prediction. We'll say it right now. Like, it was Pointless, and there's no Pele. I can confirm this. But basically, dude, when I found out it was at 4 a.m. in the morning, my time, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to watch that. Like, that's way too early for me. I'm like, I'll just catch it, like, on demand later or whatever. So there's a side story I have to say before I get to this, but my wife and I, we have a dog and a cat, and our cat likes to hang out with us for a little bit, then leave our bedroom, go out and about, and then come back to the bedroom. So oftentimes in the middle of the night we have to open the door to let her out and to let her back in. So at like 4 a.m, the cat meows and wakes me up. I let her in, and I'm like, oh man, it's 4 a.m, and I'm awake. Maybe I should watch the EA conference. So I want to paint the picture for you. I'm sleeping on my side. I have my iPhone like 2 inches away from my face, and I have my headphones plugged in so I don't wake up my wife. And I'm watching the conference. And pretty much, dude, like, my level of interest was determined on whether I wanted to fall asleep during the conference or I woke up because I was intrigued. So I'll give you, like, a little kind of like a radar thing. So, like, when they showed the Mirror's Edge demo, I was fully awake. I'm like, that is a badass demo. Like, it was it was
gorgeous.
Yeah, and having, like, dude, having the screen so close to my face and, like, it was in, you know, really nice HD and, like, everything's in first person. That game is just so fucking beautiful looking. It's so colorful. And for a minute, I'm like, I really want to buy this, but I definitely can because I know there's other things I have to do, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. This looks like a really good game. So that's an example of something that I was intrigued with. The second FIFA came out, I closed my eyes. And, like, I started drifting into sleep, and then, like, whatever... they
just like me putting my hand over your face, like.
Yeah, Adnan was like the essence of Adnan was comforting me until
represent in pace. Like, I'm not dead, Chris. I'm not dead, Adnan. Shut up, Chris.
Chris, it's okay.
the brotherhood will be with you.
The spirit of the warrior will always watch you.
Put you in a coffin, Diamond Dog style, just put on fire outside of the back garden, Daka comes running out. What are you doing? You're like, Chris, he's a symbol for my new organisation.
I won't cast you into the heartless sea.
Diamond podcasts. I just put your face as the logo.
But, like, pretty much shit like that and stuff with, like, the dancing. Like, what was it? They were showing The Sims and then they just started dancing. I actually fell asleep during Dude, I fell asleep during The Sims and then I woke up and I saw them dancing and I'm like, why are they dancing? And I went back to bed.
Tying with your conversation, yeah, I was watching this because I'm ahead of you. I think this was around about 10 o'clock here.
Right.
Morning, so I was getting ready for work anyway, and I was just like, you know what, I'll stick in the background and listen. There's not really going to be much I can do, but, you know, I stuck out in the background, and like, when I saw that thing with the, they were playing Swedish House Mafia for the song, the Sim 4s, and led up to it, and then, like, she was, like, the most unmotivating kind of thing she was doing to sell the Sims 4 expansion, yeah. And that's when she's like, and we're gonna dance now. And then when all the shit happened, you saw the crowd just sitting there, no one moved, and I just sat there, like, my eyes like flicking across. I was like, this is why people don't take video games seriously. I thought you do.
Yeah.
When you do fucking shit like this is so fucking stupid.
It was ridiculous. And then the next guy came out, I was like, man, that looks like fun. I feel like dancing. I just, like, everyone in the chat was like, shut up. Like, the Twitch chat was like, just fucking, what game are you talking about? But yeah, dude, so that, it was kind of like my radar of interest was whether or not I was falling asleep or, you know, like, I really enjoyed the Star Wars Battlefront, demo. That was really cool. I think the, like when Han came out, never tell me the odds. And, you know, I'm like, that's kind of stupid, but I like that. I like that you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon, and the insides looked really cool. Like the cockpit views were like directly taken from the movies. So there's some really cool stuff there. But as a whole, you know, the conference just was so unnecessary. I feel like a lot of this stuff they could have just released press releases for, and we were talking about how it seemed like a rehash of the E3 EA conference that wasn't that good anyway. But yeah, I mean, I will say one thing. That game about that yarn creature, I can't remember the name of him.
Yeah, yarn.
Yeah, the speech the game director, I think, or whoever it was, gave was pretty nice. I thought that was very nice of him. Like how he seemed very like a genuinely appreciative guy.
Not yarn. Sorry, Unravel.
Unravel, yeah, exactly. Like that.
Yeah, I tweeted about that.
Yeah, I thought that was very important and nice to see. And you know, I have no interest in that game, but like I support that game 100% in what it's trying to do. It's a beautiful looking game and it's very unique, and I think it's really cool that the guy's doing that. And also, dude, strangely enough, I like the direction of the new Need for Speed. Like, it kind of reminded me of like a modern age Sega CD game with all the FMVs and shit.
I was interested. Then I turned off. I just don't know. It was kind of really. I think it became a bit too much for me. I was just like, whatever. I flipped it a little bit off. Unravel was really interesting. Though. That caught my eye.
Yeah.
A lot more than I thought it would. Like I was really kind of interested in what was going on with that. I love when he dies during the demo.
Oh god,
he's
yeah.
like, and he starts laughing about it. He's like, no, you did it. He's like, we even laughed about this, like who's going to die during the demo demonstration. But it's a very interesting concept and design. It's very much Limbo-like.
Right, yeah.
Like
Which
puzzles and little things.
have you played it yet? By the way, the Limbo.
I played Limbo before.
Oh, right, okay. Like back in like whatever. I think it was like PS3. I think it
Back
came
in '99.
Yeah, back in '99.
No, I do need to download it though on my PS4.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically that was my little unique EA Gamescom
It's so
2015.
fucking pointless, so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they even turned up. People, it's not like they were trying to sell FIFA. The stuff they were showing about FIFA, it's like you don't even know. Your core audience isn't even probably watching this show, and even if they are watching the show, it's like the same fucking shit, but yet changed. I'm just like, come on.
The ending, I thought the ending of the conference was really awkward. Also, I forgot to mention that how they just like showed the FIFA thing, and it was that song "At Last," and you're like, all right. And then afterwards, it's just a like wide shot of everyone getting up to leave the conference. And I'm like, wait, that's it? That's how they're ending it? And I'm like, all right. And I just went to sleep. I just turned off my phone. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep now. I didn't mean to watch this. I ended up watching the whole conference, though, until 5 a.m. Did not mean to do that.
Damn.
Yeah. And then I woke up, like, super late and I had to scramble. I woke up, like, at 8:30. And I'm like, I never wake up like this.
So you have to, like,
Yeah.
get our priorities in check, Chris.
I know, man. Fucking at last.